I'm a fairy godmother, and today I will talk to you about the wondrous world of horror.
No, we're not. Yes, we are. Let me explain. As you read the title, this is Horror for Beginners. Hello, and welcome to me screaming into the void. I truly believe that everyone has a different opinion when it comes to newbies, to horror, and what they should be watching, could be watching, can be watching. I will preface this video by saying, for me, just want people who are scared of horror, especially adults, but who'd like to get into it, to be able to ease into it in different levels. And today we'll be having 4 different levels of horror that I will be introducing to you. Most of the horror movies that I will be suggesting will have a certain aspect of comedy. Why? Because I personally feel that to get into it and not just straight away run away from it, a certain aspect of comedy needs to be there to make the experience pleasant and make you want to watch more and get you more interested. There will be more videos coming out with me talking about level upping your viewing experience. We will graduate from this school that I have just come up with on the spot, called the School of Horror for Newbies. Welcome to class. That's why I'm also dressed up like a fairy godmother, so that I am not too spooky for the adults out there who are daring themselves to dip their toe into the blood that is horror. Now, if you're scared of horror, don't worry. We are not diving into the deep yet. I will explain to you exactly what the warnings are, what the mood of the movie is, who directed it, and who are the actors in it, so you don't have to watch any trailers. I would suggest at this stage where you're in, I am guessing that you have never really dealt in horror but are very curious about it. Basically, this video is there for you not to run away from it. I want more people to like horror. And that's why I'm making this video. So anyone who is a veteran and will start getting mad because I'm not getting into the classics or not getting into your favorites, I am sorry. I have spent a lot of time curating these movies. And trust me, there is a lot out there. I know there could be different ones. You're most welcome to comment down below which ones you would have suggested. This is a soft launch into the horror genre where there will be laughs, there will be camp, there will be chaos, and a little bit of blood. These horror comedies are like your training wheels. They are spooky enough to thrill you, but not enough to make you not want to sleep at night without the light. Does that make sense? If you're a horror veteran waiting for The Exorcist, Hereditary, The Sadness, The Shining, hold that thought. We'll get into that when we start graduating. Right now, we are here to help the Scaredy-cats fall in love with horror. Quick heads up, these are still movies that are meant for adults. There will be blood, bad words, and maybe a boob or two. You've been warned. We will start with lightweight, silly, and safe. You could also not call it horror. I was talking to people and they were like, well, it's not really horror. And I was like, it's horror adjacent. I feel like it counts. And we are trying to get you into it. And the first movie I'm going to suggest to you is Beetlejuice 1988, where 2 ghosts hire a bioexorcist to scare off the new family in their house. And then utter chaos ensues. It's directed by Tim Burton. It stars Michael Keaton, the wonderful Winona Ryder, the beautifully wonderful Catherine O'Hara, and Geena Davis. It's great for people who like Tim Burton and people who generally get scared. The mood of this movie is that it has spooky visuals. It has 0 actual scares, in my opinion. It has 0 gore, and it is very weird and very fun. Movie number 2, What We Do in the Shadows, New Zealand, 2014. Directed by Taika Waititi and Jermaine Clement. Awesome way to start horror. It's a mockumentary crew that follows 4 vampire roommates. And spoiler alert, not really, they suck at modern life. I'm not going to say more to the story because I feel like you have to watch it yourself. It's a hoot and a half. I had a lot of fun watching this movie. It stars Taika Waititi and Jermaine Clement. and they had such a blast. There is also a series if you then want more of this, which you can then also binge watch. I think there's like 6 seasons out. It's great for people who are generally afraid of horror and like kind of more goofy comedies. Warning, there is a little bit of silly gore, like a little bit of blood splatter here and there, and awkwardness. So if you don't like awkward comedy, this one might not be for you and you want to skip it. The mood is, as I said, mockumentary style. There is a lot of in-cam talking and there is slight glances at the camera. There is zero threat and there is a lot of laughter. Next movie, Hot Fuzz. Now, a lot of people will say this is not a horror movie. I kind of agree and disagree, because without giving any spoilers, if you know where the story goes, you know that it has this element of a group of people without giving away too much. And it has a lot of gore elements to it. So I feel like it is a gateway movie to horror. It's a super cop who discovers that the sleepy countryside he's been sent to take care of, I guess, it hides something sinister. As most I live in the countryside, and I tell you, that weird feeling in the back of your head is always there. It's like, these people are way too nice, or these people know way too much about what time I got out of the house this morning. It's directed by Edgar Wright, and it stars Simon Pegg, Nick Frost, and Timothy Dalton. Anybody who knows Timothy Dalton? Yes, he's in it. And it's so good. The deaths are awesome. I guess it's more thriller than it is horror, but there is, as I said, a lot of deaths. And I feel like you will get a couple of chuckles. It's more of a darker comedy. The warnings are there is going to be sudden violence and light gore. The mood is, well, it's not technically horror, but it has horror-inspired moments. And it has a couple of gory surprises. You will notice that most movies I'm mentioning here are comedies and have gore. Because with comedy and gore, you can get into the genre the easiest. I'm pretty sure there is other ways to get into horror. Some people would say start with the spooky stuff, skip the gore. And this is just for you out there who don't mind blood, guts, and gore, but are afraid of the spookier surprises like ghosts and hauntings. If those freak you out more, this list is for you. Next movie, Little Monsters from Australia, 2019. A kindergarten class trip gets attacked by zombies, and it's up to the ukulele playing teacher to save the day. Yes, it's as fun as it sounds. It's as fun as it sounds, because guess who is the ukulele playing teacher? Lupita Nyong'o. Yes, indeed. And I love it. It is so campy. The director is Abe Forsyth, and it stars Lupita Nyong'o, Josh Gad, and Alexander England. It is great for when you want to have some heartfelt zombie laughs. The warnings I would give you here is language and zombie gore. The mood is this warm-hearted zombie comedy. It has horror vibes that are kept soft and more meant for laughs. And it has Lupita Nyong'o in it. Come on. The last movie I will suggest in this tier is Jurassic Park. Again, I feel like people are going to say it's not horror. I disagree. There is a lot of horror elements in it. It's scary. It has dinosaurs that break loose and people running away from them. It's this kind of mad scientist meets Indiana Jones mood. The director is, as most of you must know, Steven Spielberg, and it stars the great Sam Neill. He will be mentioned in later videos because when we graduate, there will be Event Horizon mentioned, but that's like in 3 or 4 videos. Not yet. We're in the beginning, baby steps. So it stars Sam Neill, Laura Dern, and Jeff Goldblum, who will also be mentioned in a later video because The Fly. Why am I also making this video? With 13, I watched The Fly. And I had a month of just staring up at the ceiling and being scared of getting impregnated by flies. So I want this to be a soft start for anyone who's interested and horror curious. this is for you. Warnings that I would give you for this movie: dino danger and some blood, but I would say it's for absolute beginners. The mood is creature tension and it's thrilling, but it's not terrifying. It does have a couple of scenes that will keep you on the edge of your seat if you haven't watched the movie yet. So now we'll get into the second tier that is funny but spooky. First movie we'll be talking about, Shaun of the Dead. Also from the Cornetto trilogy. Hot Fuzz, Shaun of the Dead, and The World's End belong to the Cornetto trilogy. I'm not going to mention The World's End because I didn't like it that much. Shaun of the Dead is in the second tier. It's about this slacker who tries to fix his life by getting back his ex during a zombie apocalypse. It is hilarious. It's directed by Edgar Wright. It's starring Simon Pegg and Nick Frost again. These guys just riff off each other so well. And Bill Nye. All of those who like rom-coms and other British comedies, you know who he is. Who is it for? British humor fans. Definitely. I found it very fast-paced, very entertaining, hilarious. It has warning, light gore, and dark humor. It has a lot of hilarious scenes. Highly, highly recommend. The mood is that it has some emotional stakes in it because Simon Pegg and Nick Frost play this buddies again, and it's a very sweet friendship. It has zombie gore but is mostly goofy. Next, Arachnophobia. I guess anyone who really is afraid of spiders might want to skip this one. Or if you want to start exposing yourself to your fears, this might just be the movie to start with. So Arachnophobia is about a small town that is invaded by deadly spiders. A light creature feature with suburban comedy and creepy crawlies galore. It's directed by Frank Marshall and it stars Jeff Daniels, John Goodman. John Goodman! Anybody who has watched The Righteous Gemstones, massive fan of this series. Highly recommend, not horror at all, very funny. And Julia Sands. It's great for people who hate spiders but love to laugh. Warnings from me would be spider attacks, bug phobias, and there is mild tension. The mood is suspenseful with jumpy ew moments, less gore, more squeamish laughs. So you'll be like, gross. Spiders. Next movie, we're upping the ante a little, still in the same tier. Scout's Guide to the Zombie Apocalypse. 3 high school scouts and a cocktail waitress try to save their town from the undead. It has gross out gags and a lot of gore. A lot of gore, but it's hilarious. It's directed by Christopher Landon, who also did Freaky. I know a lot of people would suggest Freaky at this point, but I personally hated the movie. I just watched it yesterday again, and I cannot recommend it. Listen. There's gonna be movies that I will not recommend because I don't like them. And I cannot stand behind a movie that I've either not watched or I didn't like. As I said, I spent a lot of time curating this list and also thinking about what I can suggest to you so that you will come to the dark side. Horror isn't that bad. It really isn't. I find it funny sometimes when people say that people who are interested in horror are psychotic. First of all, thank you. Thank you so much. And second of all, have you ever thought that we as a horror community actually like horror because it helps us with our anxieties, with our other things that are wrong up here that are not adjacent to psychopathy at all? In the least. And also, yes, there is people out there who just like horror for liking horror, and that is also commendable. Everyone likes horror for a different reason. Me personally, I fell in love with the genre because it made me feel less shitty about my life. Well, somebody else is having a worse day than I am, or it helped me to think about how to deal with certain things and how to face my fears. There's a plethora of reasons why I watch horror. A plethora. I'm wearing my swishy thing again. I wore it on purpose because hello and welcome to my humble abode. And no, we are not talking about the classics because, listen, the classics are out there. The classics are known. And I feel like people might be like, oh God, are we gonna have to do a history lesson now? No, we don't. I'm here to bring the fun in horror. Anyway, back to Scout's Guide to the Zombie Apocalypse. As I said before, Christopher Landon, starring Ty Sheridan, Logan Miller, Joey Morgan, and Sarah Dumont, to name a few. It's great for fans of raunchy teen comedies and zombie chaos. Like, there is this Britney Spears scene. Just watch it and then let me know if I was right about it or not. The warnings I would give you is that it has crude humor, it has zombie gore, and some very wild deaths. The beginning is awesome. I love the beginning. Like, the beginning gets you right in the mood and you're like... One thing that Christopher Landon can do well, in my opinion, is deaths and adding comedy to it. The mood of the movie is gross out gags and chaos galore, and it's a horror comedy for teens at heart. Cooties 2014. Again, I feel like 2014 was a good year for horror comedies. A virus turns elementary kids into zombie-like creatures, and the teachers must survive without hurting the little monsters because they're somebody's kids. It's directed by Jonathan Millett and Carrie Murnion. I can't say the name, I'm sorry. It stars Elijah Wood, Rainn Wilson, and Alison Pill. It's great for people who like school settings that lead into the absurd and fans of satire. Warnings would be it has zombie kids and there is a lot of cartoonish gore. The mood is wild, chaotic, and absurd, and it's very gross, but it's also very goofy. Next movie, Final Girls. I love this movie. I suggest this movie at any point I can. If you want to know more about this movie, I made a double feature with Tucker and Dale vs. Evil. You can watch that and get to know more about why I like that movie so much. It's about a group of teens that gets pulled into a 1980s slasher movie starring one girl's late mom. It's very meta, it's very sweet, it's very clever, and it stars a lot of horny teens at a camp. I would guess it's for anyone who at some point will want to watch Friday the 13th but doesn't dare to yet. This is a perfect gateway to get into Friday the 13th. It's directed by Todd Strauss-Schulson. It stars Thaisa Farmiga, Malin Ackerman, and Adam Devine. It's great for movie nerds and people who like meta comedies. Warnings for me would be mild gore, and it has the theme of grief in it. There is this girl who needs to deal with the grief of having lost her mother. I have also read on Reddit that it helps certain people with dealing with grief of losing somebody close to them. The horror community, love them. So many messed up people who seek solace in horror movies, and I love it. The mood, I would say, is a heartfelt love letter to slashers, and it's emotional but not scary. And it has some hilarious scenes. Next movie, Babysitter, 2017. A nerdy kid discovers that his babysitter is part of a satanic cult. It's bright, it's bloody, and it's ridiculous. And I feel like if you then want to start getting into cult movies, this is a perfect gateway movie to get into it. It's directed by McG, and it's starring Samara Weaving. Any horror nerds out there will know Samara Weaving is our Scream Queen. Ready or not, let's go. Love her so much. Judah Lewis and Robbie Amell. It's great if you like fast-paced fun and a stylish look. Warnings would be blood, teen violence. The mood is glossy, fast, dumb, but in such a fun way. Next one, we just slightly grazed on it. Tucker and Dale vs. Evil, 2010. Eli Craig. Such an awesome director. He also directed The New Clown in a Cornfield, which I am so looking forward to. I have heard so many good things about this movie, and Eli Craig just knows how to do horror right, especially horror comedies. It's about these two hillbillies, heavy quotation marks, that are mistaken for axe murderers by college kids who go camping, and it leads to a bloody mess of misunderstandings, and it is absolutely hilarious because it takes the horror tropes and completely flips them on their head. I have also talked about that movie with The Final Girls too, so if you want, you can watch my double feature on it. It stars Alan Tudyk, Tyler Labine, and Katrina Bowden. It's great for people who like when genres are flipped on their head. Warning would be very gory violence, which is all played for laughs. Mood is gory but goofy. It looks scary but turns silly very quickly. Third tier. Okay, that was creepy. First one. We are already getting into a little bit of creepy territory. You will have a couple of jump scares here and there. Still gory, still funny. Happy Death Day. 2017. Again, Christopher Landon. I'm just saying he's a good gateway horror director. It's about a college girl who keeps getting murdered. It's like Groundhog Day, but with murder. And she needs to solve her own murder. That's the short gist of it. It stars Jessica Roth and Israel Bussar. It's great for people who are slasher newbies and aren't really familiar for the genre, and it has some fun mystery vibes. Warnings for me would be the repetitive deaths and mild scares. Mood is suspenseful but playful, and there is nothing really that makes the fear last. It doesn't ever go into complete negative territory. Trust me, there is horror movies out there that will make you question life. No, not that one. Stop talking about Serbian film. There is way better movies than that will make you question life. Next one, Idle Hands. 1999. A lazy teen hand becomes possessed and goes on a killing spree. I would say it's like one level below Evil Dead. Listen, I'm not gonna suggest Evil Dead to horror newbies yet, okay? Calm yourself. For those who are watching and are horror veterans, hi, you're still here? It's bloody, dumb, and very much 90s. The director is Rodman Flender, and it's starring Devon Sawa, Seth Green, and Jessica Alba. Oh my god, some people will be like, who's Jessica Alba? Because she doesn't do movies anymore. And I'm like, I feel old. Warnings would be gore, drug use, and some raunchy jokes. And the mood is goofy and gross, and it's pure B-movie chaos. Next one, Zombieland. This one I hold near and dear to my heart. So you've watched Scout's Guide to the Zombie Apocalypse, and you've watched Shaun of the Dead. And Zombieland is just a little bit more, just a little bit. It's about misfits who survive a zombie apocalypse with rules, wit, and a desperate hunt for Twinkies. The director is Ruben Fleischer, and it's starring Jesse Eisenberg, Woody Harrelson, and Emma Stone. Wonderful cast. It's great for zombie first-timers. The warnings I would give you is comedy gore and a lot of zombie kills. The mood is high-energy zombie violence, but full of fun. I feel like that's the kind of movie you watch before you start entering the more zombie movies like Train to Busan, or for the very hardcore fans who will argue it's not a zombie movie but belongs kind of in that category in my opinion, The Sadness. That's for like, I have done my bachelor's degree in horror and now I am doing my master's degree. That is where I would place it, alongside with a lot of other movies. It was already hard enough getting 20 movies on this list instead of 50. I know you will be frustrated by the end of this video when I don't mention the movie that you have been expecting me to mention. And seriously, feel free to fill the comments with that and help our friends who want to become horror enthusiasts. I'm warning you, anybody suggesting any horror movies that go past what I have mentioned, where we are trying to get people into the genre and not scare them away, I will delete your comment. I have seen a Reddit post where somebody was asking exactly this question, where somebody was like, hey, I'm a scaredy-cat. Give me some horror movies for me to watch to be able to get into the genre. And somebody mentioned The Sadness and then described it as something very sweet. And I was like, no, don't do that. Why would you do that? Back to it. We are continuing with The Lost Boys, 1987. Why? Because it's really awesome. If you want to get into vampire horror, This is such a great movie to start. It's a teen who gets pulled into a vampire gang. It's stylish, it's spooky, and it's so soaked in 80s glam. Love it. The director is Joel Schumacher, and it's starring Kiefer Sutherland, Corey Haim, and Jason Patrick. It's very much for fans of campy horror. The warnings I would give you would be vampire violence and blood. The mood is very aesthetic vampire menace with 80s cool. You think leather jackets, spiky hair, wearing sunglasses at night, kind of a, you know what I mean? Next round, we're upping the ante. Are you ready? Jennifer's Body, 2009. A cheerleader becomes a demon and starts eating boys, and her best friend tries to stop her. I have mentioned this already in my list of female rage. I love this movie. It is so much fun. It was so misunderstood. Trust me when I say you want to watch this movie. It's directed by Karen Kusama and it's starring Megan Fox and Amanda Seyfried. It's great for people who like teen horror and dark comedy. Warnings would be body horror and sexual themes. And the mood is very much horror with teeth, campy and creepy. It has certain moments that will make you go, ooh. At least I think. I don't know. I'm past that, okay? I don't know how you'll feel anymore. But please, let me know if you watched the movie and you're still kind of dipping your toe into horror, if how you felt watching this movie. I'm curious. I really am. Fill the comments. Thank you and goodbye. Not really. We have a couple more movies to go. Next movie, Housebound, New Zealand, 2014. Again, 2014. Something with that year. A woman under house arrest suspects her childhood home to be haunted, but nothing is what it seems. Dum, dum, dum. It's more spooky vibes. It's directed by Gerard Johnstone, and it's starring Morgana O'Reilly and Rima Teviata. It's great for fans who like haunted house stories or want to get into that. Warnings would be it has some creepy imagery and light gore. The mood is sharp, twisty, and surprisingly smart. Now we get into the fourth tier. You're getting braver. Let's see how you deal with that. First one will be Cabin in the Woods, 2012, directed by Drew Goddard. I love this movie so much. Excellent fun, lots of laughs, lots of scares. I also feel like it's a good gateway horror movie because it kind of shows you all the horror tropes that you will then recognize in the older movies that you will watch once you have graduated from baby steps to quicker steps and then at some point to running. It's 5 friends who go to a remote cabin. Sounds familiar, I know. And unknowingly trigger something. I'm not gonna tell you what. You have to watch the movie. It stars Kristen Connolly, Chris Hemsworth, and Richard Jenkins. It's great for fans of horror twists and satire. The warning I would give you is gore, monsters, and existential dread. I'm not gonna explain that one. The mood is very much meta and funny until it turns very brutal. It turns very brutal, just be warned. Next. My absolute favorite, Scream, 1996, Wes Craven. I feel like if you want to get into Wes Craven, this is how you start. Fight me on it. I'll wait. It's a ghost mask killer who stalks teens, but they have seen slasher movies before. It's very smart, it's very sharp, it's very witty, and it's scary. Definitely scary. It stars Neve Campbell, Courtney Cox, and David Arquette. I would say it's great for slasher beginners. Warnings would be teen murder and jump scares. The mood is classic slasher thrills with a very meta and knowing wink from the director. Like he knows what he's doing, and I love the tropes. I have saved up 3 movies for the extra tier, which I will call WTF Did I Just Watch? Because why not? The first one that you can watch if you want to because you're intrigued by the story is Teeth from 2007. It's a teenage girl who discovers a terrifying secret. She has a downstairs with teeth. I don't know how else to say it. It sounds exactly like it is. I like that it's a satire about sexual politics, purity culture, and consent. It's blending very much dark satire with body horror. It's directed by Mitchell Lichtenstein and it's starring Jess Wexler and John Hensley. It's great for people who like black comedies. The warnings I would give you is sexual assault, body horror, and pretty unsettling themes. Mood is disturbing, absurd, and funny, but in a kind of nervous laughter in the background. It's not subtle, but it's pretty. I mean, I had a hard time forgetting this movie. It's pretty out there. Next one, Rubber. It can't get more WTF than this, in my opinion, when it comes to stuff that just doesn't really make any sense. And sometimes once you start delving into horror mode, there's gonna be a couple of movies where you will be like, wait, what? A sentient car tire with telekinetic powers goes on a killing spree. It's a deeply strange meta-commentary on horror, spectatorship, and meaningless violence. It was done in the 2010s, and the 2000s was filled with meaningless violence when it comes to horror movies especially. It was directed by Quentin Dupieux. I find him an awesome director. He also, if you want to delve into more strange territory that is not too much horror, but more fantasy, fantastic, highly recommend him as director. It stars Stephen Spinella and Roxanne Mesquida, and it's great for fans of surreal and absurd storytelling and very much anti-logic. Do not expect logic in this movie. Generally, don't expect too much logic in horror movies. Nobody's gonna overanalyze how to survive a slasher when the slasher is chasing you. I always find it so funny when people are like, oh my God, why did she fall? Oh my God, why did she fumble? Oh my God, why did he do this? Oh my God, why did he do that? Sir, if somebody's chasing you with a knife at full speed and you have been taken by surprise, I truly don't believe that your brain is going to go into analyze mode and be like, yeah, oh yeah, of course. I can do this and that. Nobody is Sherlock, okay? We don't have a split second of 1 hour thought that can go through our head. At least I don't. The warnings I would give you is that it has violence, animal death, and existential dread. Again, I'm not going to go deeper into that. Just, learning by doing, right? The mood is absolutely, completely bonkers. It's Looney Tunes on acid, basically. And the last movie, Slacks. Oh my God. When I watched this movie, 2020 from Canada, I was like, okay, it's a bit low budget, but it caught me by surprise. It's a possessed pair of jeans that starts killing people in a trendy clothing store. And it's very gory, it's very satirical, and surprisingly also has something to say about capitalism. I will not say anything more. I feel like just watch it and see for yourself. But I was pretty surprised that it had a deeper level to it for that it's a possessed pair of jeans. It's directed by Elsa Kephart. I hope I'm saying your name right. Thank you so much for this movie. I loved it. And it stars Romaine Dennis and Brett Donahue. It's great for fans who like dumb but clever horror movies and workplace satires. The warnings I would give you is bloody kills and fashion industry critique for those who can't take it. The mood is campy, stylish, and deeply weird. And you'll never look at skinny jeans the same way ever again. And then I have 2 bonus picks. If you want to delve into either more meta or more bloody, I would highly suggest you watch these 2 movies. And that would be One Cut of the Dead from Japan. Don't Google it. Don't trailer it. Don't do anything with it. Just watch it and let it happen. That's all I'm gonna say about this movie. It is a low budget movie. So if you're not into that because, I like my movie stylized, then skip this one. The other one would be Dead Snow 2, Red vs. Dead, 2014 again, from Norway. It's in English, so you'll be fine. The second one is in English. I am not suggesting to you the first one, again, because, listen, I'm not going to suggest to you a movie that I found kind of slightly boring for the first 45 minutes. And then it gets good. And I mean, it was fine, but the thing is that the second part, okay, listen, the second part starts in the middle of it, okay? So maybe just read upon the first one and then get into the second one. I'm just saying, MMA fighters playing zombies, it is awesome. It's Nazi zombies, it's exploding intestines, it's undead armies, and Norwegian humor. It's great. Just watch it. Nazi zombies. I cannot stress enough. Nazi zombies. You're gonna have a blast, especially if you like gore. So that was my list. I am tired. That's basically your beginner crash course into horror part 1. If you liked my list and if you've started watching a couple of movies, let me know what you think of it. It's gonna get weird soon. Don't you worry about that. We will get into the weirder and the creepier and the bloodier and the more violent movies. There will be a video where you will ask yourself, why did I just watch this? Trust me, just not yet. Let's start with the fun stuff. Let me know in the comments below which ones you watched first and if I missed any horror comedies that you would have recommended. And stay tuned because next time we will be turning it up with the creepy and the psychological horror and the ghost stories and the creepy vibes. And I'm super excited because I love upping the ante. I hope you liked this video. I hope it helped you a bit to navigate horror a bit better. I know it can be difficult with all these movies thrown at you. And sometimes I feel like when you ask the internet, what are the beginner horror movies? It will give you 10,000 different opinions and answers. And this is just my take on it for the people who like comedies. This was me screaming into the void. Thank you for joining me, and I hope to see you next time. Bye!